Navigational Complexities. Okay. Leute, willkommen.
Mr. Diaz, I understand you have already discussed the warp drive failure with Ambassador Spock?
I have.
It is imperative that the Ambassador's shuttle be flight ready. I need you both to ascertain the root cause of the system failures he encountered.
I'm surprised, Commander. I thought you would have wanted to work on Ambassador Spock's shuttle yourself.
I respect the Ambassador and his many accomplishments, but I do not derive any satisfaction from interacting with his shuttle as if it were somehow transubstantiated through its association with him. Especially when I have the entirety of this starship to concern myself with.
Okay, komm hier.
I am not the chief engineer of this shuttlecraft.
Commander Chovak, is there anything you do enjoy?
I take pleasure in the satisfaction of a job well done. I suggest you try it sometime.
Okay.
Make note of any abnormalities in your report. Carry on.
Ah, geil. Ob das jetzt vom Spock ist, ist ihm egal.
No,
Nee.
couldn't have been. It seems like he's warming up to us.
Ach komm schon, warum war das jetzt negativ, ey?
Even Chovak has to look at that face and know you've earned some real respect. And I have to admit that I owe you one. You were right to make me go first.
Ach komm
I
schon.
don't know what I was
Don't
thinking.
forget it. Nein, komm, you don't owe me.
You did the smart thing.
Ja, you don't owe me, komm.
You've pulled me out of trouble how many times?
Ja, ist doch kein
Call it
Problem.
even.
Okay.
Huh?
At the very least, maybe I can track down that bottle of Saurian brandy you're still on the hook for. But first, we have work to do.
Okay, er hat zumindest die Narbe jetzt. Er hat sich schon verändert. Okay, das fand sie cool. Ja, ja, wir sind halt brutal selbstlos.
All set. Let's run the diagnostic.
Cool, das mir doch nichts. Okay, Diagnostics. Der Finger drückt. Sorry. So muss man da mit dem Finger. Echt jetzt? So streicht man da drüber?
So.
Okay.
I know about your talk with Miranda.
You do?
She sent me a Priority 1 dispatch right after your conversation. I'm happy for you. Both of you.
Thanks.
But I'm only going to tell you this once. Don't screw this up. Because I would be very unhappy if you tried this out and then, I don't know, 6 weeks or 6 days later, I have to start splitting holidays between the two of you. All because things went south and you're not on speaking terms.
Okay.
That just isn't gonna work for me.
Ja.
And I know you'll respect that.
Ja, komm.
You really don't believe in me, huh?
Ah, you
It's
don't.
not you. Or her.
Das ist witzig. Ja, oh.
Just running the numbers, and things don't work out more often than they do. I like my friends, and I like our group. I don't want to lose that. Is that thing done yet?
Yeah, it's wrapping up. Let's see. The relays along the primary EPS are blown. The backup relays are all intact.
An EPS overload from the warp drive could cause that. But how did the shuttle end up dead in the water?
Well, maybe the ship's data recorder can tell us something.
Oh yeah. Ja, jetzt nur ganz kurz, ich finde das Thema ganz interessant, ist diese Gruppendynamik. Es ist oft, also ja, ich habe die Erfahrung gemacht, ja, die Gruppen, die ich kenne. Und da waren Männer und Frauen gemischt dabei, ja, dass sich dann teilweise was entwickelt hat und dann ja, war einer das 5. Rad am Wagen sozusagen und dann hat sich das auseinandergelebt und das verstehe ich schon, dass man das quasi dann behalten will. Und daher sagt, nein, keine Beziehung quasi innerhalb jetzt der Gruppe oder so. Ja, also ich kann das Thema nachvollziehen, auf jeden Fall. So. Oh.
Here.
Okay.
They were only about 8 minutes from their plotted warp point. No faults, just those warnings. What are they?
Okay.
Subspace variance out of tolerance. What does that mean?
It means the main navigation array lost sight of space somehow.
Will the array going offline cause that?
Yes, but it should have also thrown a fault code.
The warp field became inverted suddenly.
I've seen this happen when the center warp coil cracks.
A cracked warp coil throws a fault code.
Still, we should take a look.
There was a complete warp cascade failure.
Wow. They're lucky the shuttle didn't turn inside out.
Makes me think the computer panicked on the warp field equation.
Any one of these failures should have thrown a fault.
If it was caused by a system failure.
None of this caused the relays to blow. Roll forward to when that happened.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So here, they take a moment to get their bearings and they attempt to re-engage the warp drive.
There. That's the relays blowing.
And look, there's another warp system alert.
Okay. Ich finde es voll cool irgendwie.
They're all the same.
Das ist interessant.
Subspace variants out of tolerance, or warp inversions. Finally, there's a complete warp cascade failure.
Then it's one of two things. Either a warp coil is cracked or the navigation array is offline.
That makes sense.
Divide and conquer. You want to check the warp coils or the navigation array? I'll check the other.
Jetzt
Not
überlege ich mir.
overcomplicate this.
Also
One of these
irgendwie
systems is
fände
likely
ich, glaube ich,
broken.
die Warp Coils einfach spannender als Navigation Array, oder? Wir gucken uns die Warp Coils an.
I'll check the nacelles for a cracked coil.
Ja. Dann gucken wir mal. Okay, und hier ist die USS Excelsior. Ich finde es, also eigentlich, das ist nicht die Excelsior, das ist das Beiboot quasi. Shuttle von der Excelsior. So. Your Tricorder can record and analyze data. Looking through it will reveal the unseen. Use X to equip your holster to equip or holster your Tricorder. Hold RT to scan glowing objects. Also man kriegt es halt hier vorgelegt, da muss man jetzt nicht so viel, glaube ich, Eigenleistung bringen. You must be close to some objects to scan them. Watch the frame of the screen to see if you're too far away. Okay, alles klar. Also es gibt nur X und RT, mehr muss man nicht machen. Okay, passt. Oh. Oh, schaut mal hier. Seht ihr? Okay. Da können wir auch einen Deep Scan machen. Und während dem Deep Scan und dem tiefen Scan, ja, können wir L, B und RB benutzen, um zwischen den unterschiedlichen Scan-Modi umzuschalten und nach leuchtenden Objekten zu suchen. Okay. The mode indicators on the tricorder will blink if there is an object to find in that mode. Oh je. When you have scanned all objects, the frame will change color. Hold LT to analyze data. Dann links. Oh Gott. Ja. Ah, da können wir das also hier. Oh Gott. Ich drücke halt jetzt einfach irgendwie. Also eine von 3 Anomalien haben wir detected. Okay, 2 von 3 Anomalien haben wir entdeckt. Okay. The center coils guide the warp field through its focal event. Maintaining a collimated, noch nie gehört, thrust vector. No fractures detected. Okay. Da haben wir alles gescannt. Ja. Das ist jetzt auch nicht arg viel. Gut, hier gibt es jetzt nichts viel zu entdecken. Alles gut. Und das Bio. Hier jetzt auch nichts. Okay, ich möchte gerne wieder hier raus aus dem. Wo ist O?
I checked every coil on the port nacelle for imbalances. If any coil in either engine were cracked, I would have detected it. So, it must be the navigation array.
Except it's not. Checked and double-checked.
Well, the readings don't lie.
Here comes the security detail for the way team.
Oh, haha. Hello, honey. Yeah.
Hey.
Hey.
I'm not here.
What's up?
We're escorting the negotiating team to the surface as soon as they come down from the bridge. I don't want to interrupt some important work. I was just hoping to see you before I go. The captain and the others will be here any minute now. Should be an interesting ride down to the surface.
Also wir sollen wir sollen keinen Fehler machen. So.
Come on, I'm never too busy to make time for you.
That's not true.
No. But I am glad you came by.
Now that's more accurate.
I gotta be precise with you, huh?
Hey, Maris. Aren't these those button pushers you're always hanging out with?
And you're the phaser jockeys we always beat in Parisi squares, right?
All aboard for Hotari.
That another one of the captain's railroad things?
Gotta be. I just usually zone out by the time he gets to the whole, steam engines were the warp drives of their day part. Catch y'all later.
You don't want to miss your train.
I do have to go. Not gonna lie, I'd rather not leave right now.
Ja, ja, komm, hier, zack. Wir machen es voll
More
Programm.
important things on my mind.
Hallo?
That was nice.
Yeah, it was.
Save some of that for when I get back.
You got a deal.
Be seeing you.
Etzelarda Diaz. If you could float back down to reality, we still have a ways to go. All right, where were we?
So, the warp coils in the navigation array are fine, but the nav computer doesn't seem to think so.
I'm out of ideas short of field stripping the shuttle from bow to stern.
You wanna take this out of the shuttle and throw it on the bench?
Oh, real hands-on maintenance. I like it.
Hands on
Okay, the nav computer is patched into the ship.
The ship's computer can double-check our work. If the shuttle's nav computer is putting out false data, we'll know it.
Let's run through the shuttle's logs again.
Running now. Same. Warp field inversion and a cascade failure. However, the Resolute computer doesn't show the same subspace variance.
We're in the same conditions that the shuttle was in when it failed. Why wouldn't the ship's computer get a matching result?
What if the subspace variance was a momentary occurrence?
That's a possibility, and it would explain why the simulation under our current sensor readings failed to reproduce the issue.
But a subspace anomaly strong enough to cause a warp field collapse would leave graviton ripples for days.
Let's run with the momentary subspace variance theory for now. Roll forward to the shuttle's attempt to re-engage the warp drive. We need the conditions of space around the shuttle at the moment of warp failure.
Resuming simulation.
Okay, weiter geht's.
Error in warp field calculation. Cochrane formula variables are out of range.
That right there. Take the shuttle sensor data from that moment.
Computer, why did the warp field calculation fail?
Warp field pressure return non-orthogonal. Results are undefined.
That doesn't help.
Wait, what if we use a different ship?
Put the Resolute into the simulation instead of the shuttle.
Yeah, it should warp just fine. Unless...
Ja, unless...
Computer,
Lassen.
run the simulation with the Resolute.
Aha.
Resolute simulated.
Na gut.
Computer,
Größenverhältnis steht im
give me
Stand, das ist
manual
so.
control on the warp power.
Static field intensity, warp 1.1. 1.2. 3. Warp pressure is destabilizing. Error in warp field calculation. The warp drive has experienced a system-wide cascade failure. Warp field collapsed. Subspace variance is out of tolerance. Cochrane formula results are undefined.
Oh yeah.
Bingo.
What-o?
The same moment when the shuttle failed to warp, so did the ship.
Ja.
Whatever happened to the shuttle just happened to us. The Resolute will not sustain warp.
We can't leave Hotari space.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, ja, alles klar. Also Warp ist quasi corrupted. Wir könnten da nicht mehr weg. Wir müssen in Hotari jetzt quasi gestrandet, mehr oder weniger. Oh je. Oh gut, vielleicht haben ja die Hotari was damit zu tun. Seat of Power, Sitz der Macht.
Ambassador Spock, Captain Solano, welcome to Hotari. We are honored you have come. My name is Tylos Altaris, Minister of Diplomatic Affairs.
The honor is ours, and this is Commander Jara Rydick, First Officer aboard the USS Resolute. You'll find she has a keen mind, and unique insight into the dynamics between the Hotari and the Lydians.
Ja, komm mir auch und sag nicht.
It's very nice to meet you.
Likewise, I hope...
These must be the representatives of the mighty Federation. The reigning authority in the galaxy. Or so we've been led to believe. Whether that's true or not remains to be seen. But, either way, we're grateful you've made the time to come to our little corner of the universe.
And you are?
This is Galvin, and this is Citron, the heroes of the revolt in the mines.
Oh.
Let's hope this is the last time we ever have to come here.
If you'll excuse me.
Also das sind diese beiden verfeindeten Fraktionen, die wir das letzte Mal gelernt haben. Ja. Die Rechten sind, glaube ich, die Technologie. Und die Linken, das sind die, die diese Deuterium, oder wie das heißt, abbauen. Das heißt anders, ich weiß nicht genau.
He certainly seems full of himself. No missing that. You could probably see it from orbit.
What a piece of work.
Remember, we are here at their invitation. We must remain deferential whenever possible.
Of
Stelle
course,
ich mir aber irgendwie
even
Star
that
Wars
has
als
its limits.
Star Trek vor. Ja, so diplomatisch eben gerade verhandeln zwischen streitenden Völkern und so. Das ist doch, oder? Neue Welten entdecken, das ist doch nicht kämpfen und... So, das ist doch gut, oder? Also. Mindest okay. So, was heißt Deference? Ne, wir schon zeigen Strength.
Ambassador Spock, welcome to Hotari Prime.
The honor is mine, Your Majesty.
That the Federation would send one of their most respected representatives is not only an honor to the Hotari people
Evaluate
and
the
their
argument.
queen, but a recognition of our stature and importance.
Let's get
muss ich
on
sagen,
with it,
also.
shall we? With all due respect to the Federation and their ambassador, they have no authority here. We are not members of their alliance. We are not subject to their rule, nor yours. We demand the immediate return of all mining operations to Lydian control, as it has been for centuries and will be for centuries more. That has always been our understanding.
That understanding has changed.
Then you invite war!
And if you cannot remain silent, you will be silenced. But his point is well taken. What is the Federation's interest in this matter?
Jetzt Achtung.
Perhaps you would have us trade one oppressor for another?
The Federation remains neutral. Our only interest is the peaceful resolution of this conflict.
So
We
verlogen,
are
aber
here
okay.
at your request, Your Majesty.
Ja, ja.
For now.
I get the sense she's cut from the same cloth as Galvin. I thought they wanted us here.
Was there something you wanted to say, Captain?
Oh, no. My apologies.
And what about Bakobliad?
She's not part
She
of...
can speak for herself, can't she? Then let her.
Oh oh. Oh oh. Achtung. Jetzt wird's geht. Aber warum müssen wir jetzt da hochgehen zu ihr direkt? Nicht gleich übertreiben.
Now then, One should know their place. What you might be somewhere else is not what you are here. Which is standing before a queen. And a queen deserves respect. A bow is not too much to ask. Is Hotari Prime, heart of the Hotari system?
I am unfamiliar with your customs, Your Majesty.
We may not be a powerful civilization in your eyes, but we are prideful people. You are Kobliad. Your people suffered brutal treatment at the hands of the Cardassians. Their injustice towards the Kobliad is as unimaginable as it is unforgivable. Not unlike how we have been treated by the Alidians.
As much as they'd have you believe they are the victims here, remember it was the Hotari who attacked us. Hundreds of innocent Alidians were slaughtered without mercy in those mines.
The blood is on their hands, not ours.
Quiet! If after all the Kobliad suffered, you finally had the chance to right that wrong, to get out from under their control, would you take it? Or would you negotiate a peace?
Oh mein Gott. Warte, Leute. Hör mal zu. I would right the wrong. I would seek peace. I would seek... Oh Gott. Leute, Peace. Komm, wir treffen eine Entscheidung. Peace, peace, peace.
There is no remedy for what the Kobliad suffered. And I fear who we might have become in pursuit of it. There is no justice if the oppressed become the oppressor.
Ja, richtig.
So I would willingly accept a peaceful resolution if it were offered. That is the real opportunity.
Ja.
You may be right. Unfortunately, that was not the case, was it?
No, it was not.
It was not.
Peace is often elusive to those who need it most. The Federation is the most powerful, most advanced alliance in the galaxy. It's widely known we have an abundance of dilithium in our mines. And it's in your interest to secure a steady supply.
Your Majesty, if I may.
Ambassador Spock would have us believe you're here as a neutral party in the interest of peace.
Ja.
So why are you really here? I want the truth, not your Federation rhetoric.
It's possible the Federation has an interest in both peace and securing a steady source of dilithium. One does not preclude or prevent the other. But that's just my personal opinion.
Given the Federation has done business with the Alidians for decades, I would agree. It's entirely possible, if not highly likely.
What they haven't said, but cannot deny, is a simple truth. The dilithium trade would not and will no longer exist without Alidian involvement. We created it for the benefit of everyone, especially the Hotari. We've given them warp technology. We've let them share in the profits. We've made their lives infinitely better than before dilithium was discovered. All of that goes away if the Federation turns a blind eye to their treachery.
That is enough of your lies! The Hotari are quite capable of running the mines. We've done so for centuries.
Oh, jetzt cool bleiben.
Don't tell me, who deserves control of the dilithium trade and the mines on Tau? Who should the Federation recognize? The Hotari or the Alidians?
Oh Gottes Willen. Ist doch nicht... Oh, wir müssen.
Only be one or the other, not both.
Ich kenne die Hotari zu wenig. Knallhart, die Alidians. Die haben das gemacht,
If
ja.
there can only be
Ja,
one,
ja.
then
Oh
it
Gott.
would be in the best interest of all
hör
involved
auf,
if the
ey.
Alidians resumed operation of the mines.
And that is why we should not trust our fate to the Federation.
She speaks sense. You do well to listen to her.
And you do well to hold your tongue.
We will take back our minds by any means necessary.
Then you will see more blood spilled.
I am more than willing to address your concerns, Your Majesty. Yours as well, Representative. But I suggest we could have a more productive conversation with a smaller group. Perhaps only the most essential representatives.
I would agree, Ambassador Spock.
Okay. Und jetzt verpfeift dich, sagt er zu ihr.
I
Komm.
think this is best left to
Raus
those
hier.
of us with more experience in diplomatic matters.
Ja. Wir wollten da gar nicht hoch. Wir wollten da gar nichts sagen. Wir wurden da reingezwungen. Ey. Wie gemein.
Spock and I will cover everything on the diplomatic front.
Ja.
You make nice with the locals and see if you can get some answers. We need to find out why the Hotari are so willing to risk war. What happened in those mines?
Wir reden jetzt mit Mitgliedern von jeder Fraktion. Mit ihm hier zum Beispiel. Hi, alles klar, hübsche Sonnenbrille, sehr gut. Ja. Mir gefällt das Gewehr, um ehrlich zu sein, ziemlich gut. Ziemlich cool. Hier ist das Wasser. Oh mein Gott, mein Gott. Nein. Geile Aussicht, die ist richtig schön. Das ist die richtig schöne Aussicht, die ist geil. Da kann man lange rausgucken. Kann man viel sehen. Auch Nebel, auch ja, und der Fels, der ist also richtig gut. Ja, der macht schon was her. Citron.
Commander, after hearing so much about the Federation's sense of fairness and justice, I was surprised that you sided with the Illidians. In all honesty, I expected more, especially from someone like you.
Ach komm schon.
Even though the Illidians should retain control, the Hotari have an equal claim and should share in the profits as partners.
I'm afraid it's too late for that.
I assume you were there the day the mines were seized from the Illidians.
Not seized, reclaimed, and restored to their rightful owners. Yes, I was there. We had to be decisive, before the Illidians could even realize their worst nightmares upon them.
Ja.
I'm curious why the Illidians haven't fought back. They have the ability to retake the mines anytime they want.
Ability is one thing, courage is another. The Illidians know any hostile action on their part will not end well. They respect one thing above all else, and that is force.
Yeah.
The greater the force, the more certain the outcome. Any talk of making peace is just that, and worth little without the strength to secure it. Which makes me wonder about your ship, the Resolute. Undoubtedly the Federation's finest warship.
Ja, nicht unbedingt,
ready
oder?
to contend with anything the Illidians might have in store.
Ja.
Or is that not true? Maybe I've misjudged it.
Ja, ja, hör mal zu.
No need to worry. Even in a worst-case scenario, the fleet is always within reach.
But it would probably take them quite some time to get here.
Maybe. Or we might have other ships in the sector.
Of course.
Ja, will der unsere Stärke abchecken.
A pleasure meeting you, Commander. I'm sure we'll cross paths again.
Ja, das ist immer so. Du möchtest jemanden ausquetschen, aber er quetscht dann dich aus. Das habe ich auch schon öfter erlebt. Ja, gerade bei bei Verhandlungen mit Lieferanten oder so, ja, da wolltest du die fragen und dann wollen die aber von dir viel mehr wissen, gell? So ein bisschen, da muss man auch diplomatisch sein, das hat auch viel mit Diplomatie zu tun. Verhandlungen mit Vertretern der Industrie. Ja.
Soothing.
Soothing, yeah. Okay, das war das. Hylas.
Commander Rydek, I have to admit, I was surprised when you said the Illydians should control the dilithium trade. I was under the assumption the Federation was neutral. But maybe I was wrong.
Ja, nee, wir sind...
I can assure you, we aren't on anyone's side. We are and will remain completely neutral. You have my word.
I hope that's true. For all of our sakes. I saw you speaking with Sidron, our national hero. I'm curious, what did he say?
He seems to be of the opinion that negotiating for peace is a waste of time.
Because force is the only blunt instrument he understands. He's a miner, not a diplomat. For the first time in our history, the Hotari have the upper hand. We see ourselves as strong instead of downtrodden. New voices have risen up. Old voices shouted down. Galvin and Sidron have become national heroes. Now, they have the Queen's ear. Better or worse, depending on your perspective.
Ja, mal so.
I assume they've taken your place.
I was one of the Queen's most trusted advisors. And I hope to prove myself worthy of being so again. Which is why you're here. My fear has been that the Illydians will launch an attack and crush us. You've seen their starship, no doubt. They could have retaken the mines whenever they wanted to. But it never happened.
Ah, komisch.
And as strange as this may sound, I'd almost say they're afraid. I just don't know what they're afraid of. It's still the same bluster and bravado you would expect from them. But it has no teeth. Like they're afraid of what might happen.
Do you think it has something to do with the ion storm? Right now, it's stronger than ever, isn't it?
It's entirely possible. I'm not a scientist, but I do know the storm has knocked out all kinds of systems. So maybe the Illydians weren't willing to risk their ships, given all the interference. Since the day of the revolt, Galvin has seized control of the mines and restricted all access. No one's allowed without his personal authorization. And they've taken over a section of the palace with just as much secrecy and security. I'm told it could be something they brought back from the mines. I've made inquiries, but everyone pretends it doesn't exist. I strongly suspect they're hiding something.
Was haben sie aus den Minen rausgeholt?
What do you think it is?
I've heard rumors it's some sort of ancient artifact, but I haven't seen it myself.
How can we know?
I'd better see what's happening.
Do you think you can find out what they're hiding? I need to see proof of something before I can make my case to the Federation.
Ja.
I can try, but even if I found it, I might not know what to make of it.
Take this. You can use it to capture whatever you find, and then send it to me.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
I will let you know what I find. And I look forward to our meeting again.
Sorry, I don't mean to bother you, but I couldn't help but notice you were speaking with the Hotari this whole time. I figured it might be useful if I offered another perspective.
Of course.
I have to say, I fully expected you to side with the Hotari, but obviously the Federation wants a steady supply of dilithium. Something only we can offer. Without Illydian involvement, there is no dilithium trade. Left to the Hotari, it would be nothing short of a disaster.
Ja, kommt beides
Restoring the status quo and returning the mines to Illydian control offers a stability that can be mutually beneficial.
Well said.
In that case, everyone wins and there's no need for bloodshed. Major Salit Arminta, Special Attaché, Elydian Armed Forces. A pleasure to meet you.
Commander Rydek, First Officer, USS Resolute.
Yes. A research ship, if I'm not mistaken. Interesting.
Ja.
I have my issues with the Hotari, but I have to give them some credit. They know how to seize an opportunity. Inciting an uprising the same day as a massive once-in-a-lifetime ion storm.
Our assumption was that this storm was just an anomaly.
Yes, a very convenient anomaly. At least that was what we were told. Of course, I wasn't there.
Okay.
But who am I to say otherwise?
Nee, was ist wirklich passiert, komm?
Something tells me there's more to the story. So what really happened?
Well, the official story is that it was the storm that enabled the revolt. How else do a bunch of unarmed, unorganized miners seize control of an entire moon, much less thousands of mines? But I've talked to people who were there. They tell a different story. They say they're lucky to have escaped with their lives. That it was more than just the storm. That somehow the miners were able to harness the energy from the storm.
Okay.
I know it sounds crazy. I'm not even sure I believe it myself.
Ja, hör mal zu.
But that's what they said.
You said the Hotari were primitive.
Ja.
Well, they are.
Except for the part about weaponizing ion storms.
Ja.
If you'll excuse me, Commander Rydek.
Aber interessant auf jeden Fall. Ja. Vielleicht haben die wirklich irgendwas entdeckt da unten. Und das sind die Banner, die
They
sind
seem proud of their culture.
so schön.
Pride can lead to rash action.
Okay. Ich will aber hier noch gucken. Ich suche ja immer nach irgendwelchen Secrets. Wird es natürlich hier. Also ich vermute nicht, dass ich. Hier muss man auch nichts absuchen. Und ich sage euch nochmal eins. Ich sage das ja ab und zu mal. Ja? Wenn es um Achievements geht oder so, gibt es für mich nichts Besseres als den Goldstandard, sage ich mal, von Sony und PlayStation. Da kriegst du die Trophäen und es ist so dermaßen cool, die zu kriegen. Und ich habe auch schon Spiele durchgespielt, um die Trophäen zu kriegen. Hier bei Steam juckt es mich null.
Well, that was a disaster.
What happened?
The Hotari refused to concede anything, so the Elydians stormed out.
The Hotari did not invite us here as peacekeepers. I hope your efforts were more fruitful than ours.
Oh. Leute, das war's für diese Folge. Das war's aber für diese Folge. Ich hoffe, ihr habt ein bisschen Spaß gehabt. Ich finde es cool. Ich finde diese richtig langsame Pace von der Serie. Ich finde es eigentlich ganz geil, um ganz ehrlich zu sein, weil ich so oft jetzt gehört habe, oh, es ist so schlecht und so blöd. Ganz am Anfang, ja, also einen Tag, glaube ich, bevor das Spiel rauskam, habe ich Reviews so ein bisschen gehört und gelesen. Da hieß es, das sei eine ganz tolle Geschichte und die sei gut. Ja, das waren 1, 2 Stimmen. Und dann sind die aber wieder verstummt. Dann kam immer nur der schreckliche technische Zustand und die Story sei blöd. Man könnte die Charaktere sich gar nicht weniger interessieren für die. Dass alles blöd ist, blöd. Das Ende sei blöd, alles sei blöd. Ich finde es gar nicht blöd. Ich finde es bis jetzt richtig cool. Leute, und ich hoffe, ihr habt auch ein bisschen Spaß. Ja, und wie immer halt, ich wünsche euch einen wundervollen Tag. Lasst ein Like da, lasst ein Abo da, schreibt einen Kommentar. Ich antworte in 99% aller Fälle. Ja, und drückt die Glocke, damit ihr nichts mehr verpasst. Macht's gut, meine Lieben. Und bis zum nächsten Mal dann. Tschüss.